welcome to the podcast, Can You Take My Shift? Your favorite coworkers are off the clock and back for another episode. Welcome back, everybody. So, funny story, the podcast is supposed to be on Thursdays.
It is. I promise it's supposed to be on Thursdays.
However, last time we forgot about the Olivia Rodrigo concert, which was fantastic.
Yes.
And then this week, the podcast is a day late because
I got sick. And not just any sick. I got COVID. So super fun times over here.
So it's been exactly a year since I had COVID, and Amy is a year younger than me, so she had to go and do it herself.
I guess it's just a cheeky little thing you have to get when you're 25 in this household.
Exactly. 25 in April. And we actually, and this was the time last year we actually did film the podcast this way too.
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this.
Yeah, it was also tax season. Although I didn't have to pay tax. Did I have to pay taxes last year? No, I got a tax return last year and this year.
I got a tax return last year. This year I had to pay a good chunk of change, which I still haven't paid yet. But I got till the end of next week.
But it's fine. Just commit tax fraud.
You know?
Who's gonna catch you?
Look, if the government wants me to do my taxes, they should just do them for me.
Exactly. We're all friends here. No one's gonna snitch.
No. Because
Yeah.
snitches get stitches.
Exactly. But welcome back, everybody. Hi, hello, welcome in. How are you? I'm fine. I don't have COVID. I've taken 2 tests, both negative. So, although I did have to stay home from work yesterday to monitor, but I was able to go into work today. But which meant I missed a work meeting. Well, the meeting didn't happen because it was supposed to be like all little groups, and half of my group was sick, so they canceled our meeting. But then it was like a staff lunch at this restaurant.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Okay, so they allotted $35 each and one non-alcoholic drink.
That's fair.
When I looked up the lunch menu, everything was like $40 and up.
Where were they? Were they going to like some fancy steakhouse?
Yeah, they were. $160 steak on the menu. What am I gonna order? Because
as all anxious people do. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And you have 2 options. Like, either if they say they're paying and there's no money value, I will buy that $168 steak.
Yep.
Yeah, but if I have to pay for it myself, I'm getting the cheapest thing on the menu.
Yeah.
Or I'm calling in sick because I lose less money.
You know,
Yeah.
I never thought of that, just calling in sick. That's really good. That's super good.
Call in sick for a company lunch that you have to pay for and you lose less money. But I also missed out on, thankfully, so they played icebreaker games.
Fun.
Which we love a good workplace icebreaker. They did 2 truths and a lie.
Fun.
Which I hate doing. However, I'm going to make you do right now, Amy.
I'm so bad at 2 truths and a lie, and you're gonna know mine.
Okay. We'll do this for the viewers.
Okay.
Let's all play together. So here are my 2 truths and a lie. I broke my arm climbing a tree.
Okay.
I have to tell you 2 more.
I know.
Okay.
I'm aware. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, that's a really strong lie.
I am terrible at Dance Dance Revolution, or DDR, as people in the know it.
As the gamers call it.
As the gamers call it. And Zendaya once looked me in the eyes and glared at me.
I think I know which one is the lie.
Yes. Your turn, though.
Oh, frick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget yours.
Yeah, exactly. It's all mental games here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Shoot. Put in, like, is it the Jeopardy music? I have traveled to. I have to count my head so I make sure I actually know the actual number and so I don't accidentally mess it up.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at these. Why did you do this to me?
If I have to, almost had to suffer through this, I'm going to make you suffer through this. Because everybody loves a good workplace icebreaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have had surgery on I've had surgery on my left foot 2 times.
I'd be able to afford to get her improv classes.
I'm so bad at this. You know this about me.
Yeah. For just a sub from a viewer.
Wait, what were yours again? I don't even remember them. This is why we should have made you go. I told you I was gonna forget them.
Okay, broke my arm climbing a tree.
Yes.
Zendaya's once stared at me and glared at me.
Yes.
God, what was the other one?
See, okay, so you forgot yours too.
Going great. Okay, well, what was my lie, Amy? Was it the one you forgot or the other two?
It was the one where you broke your arm.
Yes, I've never broken a bone.
Yeah.
Well, I actually might have broken my toe, but never confirmed. I've never confirmed broken a bone.
That is a good one.
Yes. Zendaya did glare at me when she was 16, but it's okay. I don't hold it against her.
That is fair.
Yeah. You've been to more than 7 countries.
Well, there, you already got the lie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've had surgery on my left foot twice.
Yes, I did know that was true. Yeah. But yeah, that is good old fun, family-friendly work bonding.
I could have used the ones I did because I had to do that for my first week at my new job. But I think mine was like, I've dyed my hair like 3 colors. I've been to like every Disney park in the world, and I don't remember what my other one was, but my lie was that I'd been to every Disney park in the world.
No, when I was a kid, I would always use that, like, I've driven a truck because my grandparents lived on a farm. So when I was 8, they're like, here's the keys, have fun. All you can hit is a hay bale.
Fair.
And people are like, no, you can't drive. And I was like, I can't. Not legally, but...
It's so hard to do those, though, with, like, well, it's hard to do with your friends, but, like, complete strangers, it's, like, even harder. Because I'm like, I don't know you well enough to make assumptions about your life.
And I also don't want to reveal things. Like, what if it had been like, oh, I have a tattoo from the movie Avatar on my foot. But it's because you're a huge Avatar fan? No. Yeah. And then you have to explain things.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was the running joke that my partner kept making of, like, you know, when people are like, oh, like, I have a girlfriend. Oh, yeah, where do they live? Canada?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds, like, it sounds fake. But, like, you could offend someone and be like, you don't have a partner in Canada. Yeah. No, I do, actually. Thank you so much. Yeah. Now you look like an asshole.
Exactly. But you don't know that. Oh, you don't know her. She's from Canada.
Yeah, you know her.
You don't know her.
You know her. It's like, my uncle works for Nintendo.
Yeah. Does he?
No. That's just like a joke that kids used to say growing up when they're like, when they wanted to seem like cool with all the newest video games.
Oh, okay. Nintendo. Okay, so like, fun fact, Amy and I have a lot of friends because we're so popular.
So popular.
So popular. But a lot of our friends work jobs with NDAs. And
yes.
Kelsey's favorite drunk party game is to get NDA information out of her friends.
Yes.
Some work on movies, some work for large companies, and I do get a lot of... I am persistent.
You are.
I am very persistent. And I have gotten some information out of our friends that they're like, shit, I should not have told you. And the problem is I'm not terrible at keeping secrets, but I just don't like being the only one who knows. So as long as I tell one person, I'm okay. Like when I was in high school and someone told me something and I didn't know what to do and I couldn't hold it in, but I didn't want to tell my mom, I would tell my dogs.
That's smart.
Because I'm telling somebody, but they're like, you got food? No, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm also the same way about telling secrets, but I usually find, like, if I just kind of say them, like, nonchalantly, they don't sound as, like, intense. So sometimes I'll, like, talk about, like, work things, but because I'll talk about them in, like, such a casual way, people are like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, they brush it off, too. So I'm like, okay, this isn't, like, a really big secret.
Exactly. Like, oh yeah, you know, like I work for IKEA and we might just be taking over the entire company of Sweden. But you know, it's fine.
Yeah, we're just working on this like huge merger, just like destroying the country.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna like, I don't know, do something like drain the Pacific Ocean, you know, that kind of stuff.
Just, you know, cheeky girly things.
Exactly. But we got a new coffee in the Keurig. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. Just cheeky break room talk.
Cheeky break room talk.
Yeah. But what else has happened this week? So we are next time, we promise you though, we will get here on a Thursday.
We will get here on a Thursday.
We will.
One of these days.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else has been going on. You and Trevor left me for the weekend.
Yes.
For Easter, but I don't really celebrate Easter. I mean, my parents did come visit. And that was nice. I played so much Animal Crossing. My island is still not there yet, but it's gotten far.
That's good though. You've made progress.
Exactly, yeah. And then I've just been working, but I've barely worked because I got my hair dyed. We all know I wear wigs. Like this is a wig.
It's a great wig.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's from Amazon, $30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some good Amazon ones, and I've got some bad Amazon ones.
Like most things on Amazon.
True. So I was saving my hair for over a year for my friend because she's in beauty school. Mm-hmm. So I go to get my hair done. And so it's like virgin hair. It's 100% virgin hair. There was like maybe this much of dye in the very bottom, like leftover bleach. And I wanted like Emma Stone, like copper red.
Yes.
And so they're doing my hair. So she starts to do like section my hair, and her teacher goes, no, that's gonna take too long. Do it this way. Do it faster. Do it this way. And then she mixes the hair dye. She gave her the wrong dye.
Oh no.
So I at first had like auburn hair with some like okay highlights, and I was like, this is fine. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's absolutely not what I wanted.
Yeah, of course.
So they're like, let's do it again. You should put more highlights in her hair. And then a cherry red dye was handed to her. So I had tiger stripes. And if I had a nickel for every time I had terrible highlights, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which is not a lot.
But it's weird that it's happened twice.
Very
and, like, I don't blame my friend at all because her teachers were hovering over her and then both of them were giving her conflicting
Oh, and that's annoying because then you just don't know who to believe or what to do. It's hard to get anything done.
Yeah, so she finishes up my hair. I'd also been there for, like, 7 hours. Like, I spent all day with her. I took a day off work for her. And I'm like, I hate it. We went for dinner afterwards because we were both like, we need a drink. And I was like, I hate this so much. It looks so bad. So I had to wear a wig to work because at work, everybody's like, always like compliments each other. So I ordered a brown wig with like these cute little bangs. So it was like pretty close to my natural hair, just maybe like a shade lighter.
Mm-hmm.
I got so many compliments all day. And it was like really nice, but also I was like, I didn't want to tell anybody it was a wig, even though like I have no embarrassment to wearing wigs at all. It's
an annoying conversation to have to like continue because you know people are going to ask questions.
Yeah, and I work with a lot of older people because like I came in and Mary was like, I love your hair. Like I told Mary the truth right away because like, you know, there's no pure work relationship than the chaotic woman in her 20s and the older Asian woman who's been there too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're both are just sick of the shit.
Yeah.
In different ways.
At almost every job, like, I've had 3 jobs where I've had that relationship, and it is like no other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we had that relationship with I don't know if we gave her a nickname. We'll just say we had that relationship with Janet at our old job.
Yeah, it's been long
loved
enough
her.
now. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
great.
we loved Janet.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
She was super great.
So I was like, it's a wig. And I was like telling her about it. And she's like, oh my God, it looks so real. And she's like, you should go back there, demand, because they also made me pay for it.
I would have yelled. I would have been like,
Yeah.
You guys didn't listen to my friend. But I understand, like, that's also really hard to do. Like, it's easy to sit here and be like, I'm gonna do this, and then when you get there, you're like, actually.
Yeah.
You know?
Because when I told my mom, she's like, you should wait till she graduates and then call them. And then my friend was like, yeah, they're like, if you wanted to come back, we could get it touched up fixed for free. And I was like, yeah, but it's Monday to Friday. I work Monday to Friday. Like, I took a day off. And so she ended up going to get like the dye herself. I went to her house. She fixed it. It looks fabulous. I'm not going to do a wig reveal because no, I'm blonde on this channel, and I like this. Exactly. I'm blonde. I got my Hawaiian shirt. We're matching in our little Hawaiian.
We are ready to go on vacation, even though we can't go anywhere.
Absolutely. Well, you especially cannot go anywhere.
True.
No, because we're in our little festival wear. Have you ever been to a festival, Amy? Now, festival is a broad word because there's so many different types of festival. Have you ever been to a music festival?
No. I've been to an outdoor concert.
You never been to a music festival?
No, not where there's like multiple acts.
So I have been to one music festival. So I am not a huge concert person. I literally I've seen 3 concerts in my life, and 2 of them have been with you in like the last 3 years.
Yes.
But when I was, God, what was it? Okay, yeah, it was so strange. So when I worked at the movie theater, like my first job, for Halloween, if you dressed up, you got a prize every day, and a bitch loves a prize.
Absolutely. When you work minimum wage, absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, I love Halloween, and I love prizes, so it's perfect. So I dressed up every single day that week, and I won best costume every single day.
Let's go.
Either it was because people half-assed it, or literally nobody dressed up by me, but I was fine with it. I was like, give me the ticket.
Absolutely.
So I won 2 tickets. So, well, I won like $40 in Tim Hortons gift cards. Like, I won.
You won a lot. No.
Yeah, but I won 2 tickets to this music festival called Rock the Shores on the island.
Okay.
So I was given the choice of either going to see, because it was 2 different days, and they have like the different headliners, like most musical festivals.
Yeah.
So it was either option of the headliner was City and Color or Weezer.
Oh, damn. Those are, I guess it really depends on like what type of like indie alternative you are.
Yeah.
Which one you want to go to.
So now I'm mad at the choice I made. But when I was offered both choices, I didn't know either. So which one do you think I chose?
City and Color.
Yes, and I love Weezer now.
Yeah.
I love Frozen too.
That makes sense though. Like, yeah. Because City and Color is Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it makes sense that you chose, like, a Canadian band who, like, their name sounds really cool as opposed to, like, Weezer.
Yeah.
Like, Weezer's a great band. Like, I love Teenage Dirtbag so much. Great song. We love them in on the Frozen soundtrack.
Yes, we do. Yeah. So I got the tickets, and then I was going to ask a guy I like to go with me because I got 2 tickets. I ended up chickening out. And then I just took my friend instead. But I'd never been to a music festival before. They were literally like, do you have any alcohol? And I was like, no, 17. I'm like, I don't sneak alcohol.
I don't know what that is.
I did that much later in my life.
We've all done it.
Yeah. So it was the 5440, because I actually remember all the acts we went, because we didn't get there for the first act because my friend was late. But I also don't, like, I still don't know with concerts. Like, I was freaking out that we were going to be late to Miss Olivia because I was like, it starts at this time and doors open at this time and we must be there by this time. And then you and Trevor are like, relax. Like,
In your defense, like, yes, you want to, for me, concert etiquette, like, I don't care. I'd rather be sitting in the venue than, like, rushing because I'm late. So I always try to be there for when doors open. For Miss Olivia, their whole system of trying to get people into the venue was not great, but I don't blame that on, like, Miss Olivia. That's not her fault at all. That's the
venue.
Yeah, that's the venue, that's the organizers, that's their fault. Because I think it was 15 to 20 minutes while the opening act started. We barely got in the building and we got there when doors opened.
Yeah.
Or like even a little bit before. But anyway, that's a whole other tangent. It's fine.
So, and then it was the Sheepdogs, who I very much enjoyed. They're a band from Saskatchewan.
Oh yeah, Sheepdogs are great.
Yeah. And then it was, I remember this. So his name is Matthew Good. Have you heard of him? Okay, so I think he had a little bit of success, but my friend was volunteering backstage, and she texted me that so he threw a giant fit because because they were running behind. They cut his set one song short, and he was like throwing things backstage, and I'm like, dude, this isn't Coachella. Like,
you're not big enough to be throwing these kind of fits, sweetie.
Yeah. And he was, I always remember that because I was like, Matthew Good? Matthew's bad. Like.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. It's funny. It's
funny. Okay, he threw a fit. Volunteers. He gets no sympathy from my ass whatsoever.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a bunch of teenage volunteers.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, like, I remember buying a $12 popsicle, and that was, like, years ago.
$12?
Everything was, it's a festival. Everything is, like, 12 times the price. Like, that popsicle probably cost them 30 cents, but I was like, okay, it's hot. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like that when you go to, like, Calgary Stampede. For those who don't know, Calgary Stampede is, like, this 10-day fair rodeo concert thing that happens in Calgary. And, like, shit's expensive. Like, it's like Disney pricing. It's like bottled water is like $4.
I don't even want to remember how much we paid for like 5 pierogies.
Oh, probably like $12. $12 to $15. They were good, but like not that money's worth good.
Exactly. But it's like the experience. It's just like when you go to an airport, you pay $5 for an orange juice this big, and you're just like, thank you.
Yeah.
But, so reason why we're talking music festivals. So that's my only music festival experience, and I've never felt the draw to go to another one, because there are some pretty big ones. There was Squamish Fest. That was really big.
I tried to go a couple times.
Yeah. There was Pemberton. There was Sunfest. So there's all these ones. There was Faded in the Park.
I think that still happens sometimes.
Maybe. But so I've never had the desire, but the holy grail of music festivals is Coachella. Coachella, which just happened this weekend.
It's still going on. It's still this weekend too.
It's
and
still
next
going
week.
on.
It's 3 weekends in April.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just know all about the drama. I don't know anything about the
No, it's 3 weekends in April. Like, God, Kelsey, do you even care about Coachella? Do you even care? Excuse you.
No, because all influencers would go there and be like, look at my outfit.
Me.
Although I'd keep my butt cheeks in.
That is fair. I had a friend one year, we actually tried to look into going to Coachella because we were super into music. There were some really good headliners at the time. We had some extra money, and we thought we might be able to swing it. But then when it came, the thing that was most expensive was like accommodations. And if you're not sharing with like 6 to 8 people, or if you're not being hosted, or if you don't want to camp, you can't afford it.
Like, music festivals is people who camp. That's also disgusting. Like, my sister would camp for Sunfest. Okay, I have nothing wrong. I'm not against camping here. So my sister would camp for Sunfest, but she was like, it's basically just, it's dry, it's hot, it's the middle of summer, everybody is smells, everybody is drunk, everybody is high, people are doing things in tents, and the tents are so close together. Like, it's just no...
It's, the thing is, it's one of those things where it's like, it's the experience of it all. It's kind of like people who go to Burning Man. Like, you're literally going to the desert to get high and drunk and just, like, have fun and experience all this cool artwork. But again, like, you're in a tent, you're dehydrated, you're sunburnt, you're tired. But it's the experience people want, right? They're like, I've done it once and I'm good.
Yeah, but like, just because something's an experience doesn't mean it has to be garbage.
This is true. This is true.
I've done some great experiences in my life. I've done some awful experiences. And, you know, like, there's some things that I know I would have a terrible time, but I'm not like, I've got to say I did it once.
This is true. Apparently the city of Coachella is so poor that it's only expensive for a few days a week every year. Which, okay, makes sense, because it's a lot like going to Calgary during Calgary Stampede. People, maybe it's because I'm a local and it's one of those things where you're like, Disneyland's in my backyard, like, it doesn't matter. Calgary Stampede is gross, overpriced, whatever. People come from all over the world to experience this, like, shitty little fair. Granted, like, Coachella's a lot cooler because, you got, like, world superstars performing there. Calgary Stampede, you maybe have, like, 3 cool country singers, and then you just have a whole bunch of sexually transmitted diseases going around.
Yeah. I was mad because we didn't go the weekend Trixie Mattel was performing.
I know.
That made me upset. Okay, but so that was something I wanted to do. But that's because you're from Calgary. We had a place to stay for free.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you knew exactly how to get around. So, like, I also just was smart. I flew into Edmonton for $50 because if I wanted to fly into Calgary, it was going to be $380.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to do it again, you still got a free place to stay.
No, true. And then we drove from Edmonton to Calgary. And, like, yes, I had the connections, but if I didn't have any connections, I had no desire to go whatsoever. Like, what is it? The divorce rate, like, triples at
Oh, yeah. They literally have, like, ads around it, which I'm like, this is really distasteful, but, like, I get it. You gotta do your business.
Yeah. What was interesting, so before Trevor and I were together, I was dating the engineer. We'll call him the engineer.
Yes.
And we were on our second date, and we were walking around, and he goes, oh, no, and he, like, ducks. And I'm like, okay, like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, I know that guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, so there was a bit of drama in my fraternity because he was Kelsey made some choices before she found the love of her life.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Exactly. So he was like, there was a rumor, there was a thing going around. So this guy in his fraternity, his girlfriend cheated on him with some guy at Stampede. That guy was my date. And they were doing some things on the dance floor that were a little more than dancing.
Goodbye. Goodbye. That is so gross. That is so gross. Goodbye. Goodbye. That is gross. Yeah. That is gross. That is gross. That is gross.
We're not going to go any more into that.
No.
But I was like, also, why did I date this man? Continue to date this man after that interaction? I don't know.
We don't got to get into that because that could be a whole other topic of conversation. That's okay. We could say something about the last person I dated too, but we don't got to sit here and unpack all of that. That's not what we're going to talk about.
But you know what? Bringing it back to what we were talking about earlier, I got NDA information from that man too.
You did. You did get NDA information.
Yeah, he was like, I worked on this theme park ride, and I'm working on this future theme park ride. And then he was like, here, want to see the blueprints to this theme park's ride? And I was like, you should not be showing me any of this. He's like, yeah. See, I'm really good at getting NDA stuff out of people.
You are. You really, really are.
Yeah, that's my hidden talent.
I love that for you.
We finally get into this week's topic. It's lower the lights. And now to this week's topic. Welcome to Coachell-Uh. Oh, Coachell. Oh, no.
Oh, no. We are in festival wear for those of you who watch this either live or on YouTube. We're in our festival clothes. Yes, we're in our festival gear. I don't have any cool sunglasses or any like jewels.
I mean, we're like in the same outfit, just different fonts. Because we got we have the floral shirts, we have the crop top, basically bra tops,
you know,
and then the sweatpants.
To be casual.
Exactly.
Party on the top, casual on the bottom.
You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And nobody will know except for the fact we just showed people.
Exactly. That's fine. It's fine. But
anyways, I have no desire to go to Coachella. I've never will. And there's reasons why. Okay, first reason. One, Beyonce's already done Coachella. She's never going to do it again. She did it. It was amazing. No one's been able to top her.
And yet she still lost to James Corden. Did you see that?
Talk about that. That's bullshit.
So mad. I can't believe it. Did not deserve it.
No, absolutely. And because no one's been able to top Beyonce. And like, some amazing people have played Coachella. Like I've heard like Billie Eilish was really good. Like I've heard so many people good, but I'll never get to see Beyonce.
No. And we all know Jay-Z's not the top in that relationship.
No. It's fine. Beyonce can top me anytime.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all out of my drink.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. But anyways, so I also hate the heat. I'm also allergic to the sun. And I get heat rash very easily. So, and if there's any dust in the air, it finds its way into my eyes because there's always something in my eye. Usually it's other people's bullshit. But
so what we are learning is Coachella is not the place for Kelsey. She's going to celebrate Coachella, which is where poor people stay home and watch the live stream.
Yeah, we sit in our sweatpants and our stained vacation t-shirts and we go, that outfit's a choice.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, I would never wear that. But there's some drama this year.
Ooh.
So, let's take us back to, brands have gone through an interesting kind of journey with the so-called brand trip. Now, one of the biggest ones used to be Tarte. It was Trippin' with Tarte, and they would take influencers, content creators, whatever you want to call them, to the Bahamas, the Maldives, like Bali, and where else they would take
just somewhere like really tropical.
Yeah. They would take pretty influencers, and part of your contract is so they pay for like your trip, and then they give you makeup, but it is a job. So when you go on one of these trips, you're contractually obligated to post Instagram photos, like stories, videos, YouTube videos, reels. This was really before TikTok was big, to the height it is now. But now, so the brand trip kind of had a peak, and then it kind of started to die because there started to be, this is what happened on this brand trip. This is the drama, right? Because a lot of influencers learned that if you share, well, I mean, we all know the good old no publicity is bad publicity.
Yes, but there ended up being a lot of drama. I think they realized the trips were a lot more expensive than what the brands were getting out of it. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of it ended up becoming the same kind of 10 to 12 influencers on all the trips. So then it kind of became unbearable in a way of being like, how can I trust this brand's opinion if they're only inviting the same people every single time? Like, that doesn't seem a lot of diversity. And also, speaking of diversity, those trips were pretty white.
Yeah, they would invite maybe one woman of color.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another problem with them was COVID definitely halted them.
Oh, without a doubt. That completely stopped them.
Because they also seemed far more shallow to what they truly were. And people also, because I think, especially beauty gurus, kind of went with a while. People are like, you're just getting paid to like things. I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust your opinion. But, so since Coachella was canceled for the last 2 years, another kind of brand trip kind of popped up, which is Revolve Festival. So if anyone doesn't know, Revolve Festival is not officially part of Coachella. It's a festival that's going on the same weekend as a Coachella. And it's basically, they call it like the pregame, like the influencer pregame to go to Coachella.
And do you maybe want to just explain exactly what Revolve is?
Yeah, so Revolve is a clothing brand. So it's an e-commerce clothing brand. And they don't really have their own brand. They're kind of like an e-commerce department store. So, because if I'm on Revolve's website right now and I see they're selling Selkie dresses, Lovers and Friends, Free People. So they don't really have their own brand. They're more of like an online online retailer.
Yeah, and they partner with a lot of famous influencers to kind of make their own collections. Like there's an influencer I still follow her actually. Her name's Amy Song, and she's a pretty well-known fashion influencer, and she had her own clothing line with Revolve.
Basically what Revolve is trying to make luxury more accessible. So, but if you go on their website, what do you see? Tall, thin, white women.
Yep.
It's a lot of tall, thin, white women. I mean, there is some women of color on their website, but it's a lot. But Revolve's brand is very much the tall, thin, gorgeous girl. Like, I don't see a lot of diversity in body shape.
So it's like a merch store, yeah. It's a very typical influencer brand.
And Revolve's thing is that they do so much influencer advertising, and they basically rate their sales from Revolve Festival. So their sales every time this year are comparable to Black Friday for other companies.
That's crazy.
They sell more clothes during Coachella than they do at Black Friday. Because most brands, that's when they make all their money. But Revolve, because of this Revolve Festival, because they're selling exclusivity. Because to get into Revolve Festival, you have to be invited. Now, it used to be that they would just reach out and invite you. However, this year they did something different. So there was basically 3 tiers of people who got invited to Revolve Festival. The first was celebrities. Timothée Chalamet, Hailey Bieber, Chloe and Halle, like that type of celebrity. So you have your top tier. The second was higher level influencers who got invited, and they had a contract where they were invited to the concert, they invited to the festival, but they had to have their own accommodations, their own flights, their own transportation from the airport. Like Revolve doesn't pay for anything, it's just their ticket. And then the last level was if you bought $2,000 worth of Revolve clothing, you could get a ticket to Revolve Festival.
I mean, okay, $2,000 worth of clothing. Maybe this is like my fashion brain. Really is not that much.
Oh no, I was like $2,000, and then I pulled up their website, so I see a dress here, $230, $268, $238, $278.
Like so realistically, you need to buy like 10 pieces of clothing,
and that's it.
Yeah, so that's. But I mean, you still have to then pay for your transportation, your flight, and all that stuff, and plus your Coachella ticket, since this isn't getting you into Coachella. So then you have to think, is this festival worth that $2,000?
Influencers used to talk the way that Coachella is basically, they call it the Influencer Olympics.
Oh, 100%.
And they've talked about how certain influencers, I'm not going to say their name because no free clout, and I hate them, but it was basically no, I hate them and I don't want to say their name.
That's fair.
And their photos would do so let's say if they got an average of 5,000 likes a photo, they post a Coachella photo, it would be 40,000 likes because Coachella content did so well. But then it became so because it was, again, that era of exclusivity. This looks cool. They're selling fun. But when you break it down, it's a lot of money. The return on investment for the average person is not fun at all.
No.
I could think of a way more fun trip for all that money. Like, because let's say, I don't know, your flight is $700, and then your accommodations for one weekend are definitely going to be like $1,000 at minimum.
Oh, a minimum.
Yeah. Then you have to pay for food, drinks, transportation. Uber, of course, jacks up all their prices. Taxis jack up all their prices. So let's say, I don't know, I think what the average price of going to Coachella was like $5,000 to $10,000, because then you have to have like cool outfits and stuff. Like, it's, I'm sorry, $5,000, $10,000. I'm not going to Coachella. I'm going to Bali.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, I get that, like, especially like for you, like, that totally makes sense. But for maybe somebody who's like really into music, like if you think about all the acts that were there, like there was like Harry Styles and Phineas and who else do I listen to that was there? There were so many artists that I listened to that were there. That's like, that sounds like kind of intriguing, which is why I almost went to it one year, because I was like, if I can swing it, why not? But it's all the little things in between. Like, I don't really think you're allowed to bring like outside food in unless you're camping, and even then you can't really like bring it into the grounds, and so all that stuff just gets like super expensive. Like, I love Harry Styles. People know this about me. This man is, I saw this thing on TikTok, someone said that Harry Styles is for queer women what Ryan Reynolds is for straight men. And,
interesting.
but are they wrong?
No, they're not wrong at all.
Like, that is, I was like, I hate this. Because it's true. This man is great. He was selling...
And the equivalent for straight women is Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
My mom would give up everything for that woman.
Fair. She's great.
Yeah, but sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay. But, like, if you want to buy... Like, he was at Coachella. He's at Coachella this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, he performed with Shania Twain. Groundbreaking, incredible, never been done before. Loved it so much. It's
truly for the girls and the gays.
Truly for the girls and the gays. It's great. We don't need to talk about some of the shitty things Shania Twain has said in the past couple years, but his merch at Coachella, one of his hoodies, $110. And I'm like, Harry, sweetie, no. It's not even that nice of a hoodie. Shit looked real thin.
Harrison Stylish, that's too much.
Harrison, no.
There you go, just sell Harrison Stylish merch.
Harrison Stylish. It's a crap. Just a t-shirt that just says Harrison Stylish.
Copyright Kelsey, don't take that from me. Anyone who's watching, Harry Styles, if you're watching, don't take that.
Don't take that. That is now ours.
That is now mine. That's a CYTMS exclusive. We're gonna sell merch. Okay, let's crank out merch right away. How
put that shit on Redbubble right now.
Merch. There we go.
Perfect.
It's for sale now. It's $109.
Solid, so cheaper.
Yeah. But okay, so back to Coachella and this Revolve festival. Yeah. So everybody wanted to get into this Revolve festival. However, there was some drama that people were comparing it to Fire Festival. So basically, in order to get to this festival, you had to take these buses. And they didn't have enough buses. And the festival, they had sold basically too many tickets to this festival because
of course they did.
Of course they did. Because they would not learn anything from TanaCon, Fire Festival. But
shout out TanaCon and Fire Festival, yeah, leading the way.
Shout out to the OGs. But they sold too many tickets, and they gave away too many tickets, and then people were comparing it to Fire Festival because they were waiting out in the hot sun. They couldn't get on buses. There was like pushing. There was fights. Security didn't know what to do. Security did not know who anybody was. And it was like influencers were going, "No, I am to get on the bus." And then security was like, I don't give a shit who any of you are.
Good, as they should.
Yeah, and then they were like looking for VIPs because everybody was told they were a VIP, but then there was VIPs and VIPPs.
So confusing. Just
Exactly.
1P.
Yeah. And they were like trying to find the people who had a certain color wristband. And they're like, who do we actually care about? And so I was watching a lot of that, but of course a lot of influencers like to talk about the drama because that gets views, that gets clicks. And then I watched some more videos where people are like, well, they said to be there at 12, but they said to show up a half an hour early. So I showed up at 11:30 and got on easily. It's like, and a lot of people are like, so I missed all the thing because I showed up when my contract told me to show up. And another girl's like, I missed the drama. We got there at 2. And I was like, did you? And like, there was a lot of back and forth, but of course that's the drama which brings in the clip. But it was like, did this all come down to people just not reading their contract?
Probably partially. Because if you think about it, this also seems like one of those things where influencers are also just taken advantage of.
Oh, yes.
You know? Because there's always things of people being like, oh, I got, like, this happened to me or this happened to me. And it's like, sweetie, did you properly read your contract? Like, every single one of us in life has been burned by a contract in one way, shape, or another. Like, all those times where it's like money back guarantees. If you don't read that you have to keep your receipt for the full time that you have your product, you're not getting your money back.
A work contract tried to tell me that I needed to give 4 weeks notice to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did not do that.
No, we did not.
We did not do that.
Granted, I was in a better position than you to do that because I hadn't even been there 3 months, so like it didn't matter.
I hadn't been there a year though.
This is true.
Yeah. But back to it. So basically this festival, people were like, well, maybe do you think that because exclusivity, it all goes back to that, how exclusivity sells, right? Like limited editions. Like, do you think they obviously gave out more tickets because they wanted to cause a promotion, but on their personal brand, they're very much selling a fantasy, just like Victoria's Secret used to be, sell the fantasy. It was the fantasy of, they sell the fantasy of fun, I'm gorgeous, and you want to be me.
Yes.
Yeah, and they like did put out a statement. Let me see if I can find, where did the statement go? Oh my goodness. I don't want to buy this dress. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, and now I have like this red dress.
Dress.
It's all about like red one-shoulder dresses, apparently. Not a fan of the one shoulder, I gotta say, but
That's
maybe
fair.
I just don't have the shoulders for it. I love when I Google things because I don't know. It just sounds so stupid half the time when I'm Googling. Oh, they have a paywall? No. 1 sec. In anticipation of the high level of interest in attending Revolve Festival this year, Revolve worked closely with all appropriate city and safety authorities to ensure a safe and secure path for guests to access the 2-day invitation-only event. As the festival was reaching capacity late Saturday afternoon, shuttle access to the venue was limited in order to remain in compliance with safety requirements, causing longer wait times for entry and resulting in some guests not being able to attend the festival. The safety of our guests is the utmost important to us, and we will always make that a priority. We sincerely apologize to all the guests who are impacted. We always strive to provide a great experience, and we promise to do better. The good old, we promise to do better.
That's such BS, and we know that's BS because, again, if this was like a matter of safety, then you would have taken those numbers into account and probably sold or given out less tickets than the max. Just knowing some stupid influencer would probably be like, can my friend come in? Can my boyfriend come in? Can my, whatever.
Is when an event is free, you always give out more tickets because then you have, but you post like, hey, like this event is free, you might not get in. Because you expect people to go, well, I don't, like, if people can't go, they're like, it's free, so I'm not losing out on anything.
Yeah.
But when something is invite only, but it wasn't, but they were technically all paying to be there because yes, if you got invited, but you still had a contract, you still needed to post a bunch of content to get in, so you were still paying to be there either with your time or if you paid the $2,000.
Yep, exactly.
So that's when you have a problem of like, all right, if your venue can hold 100 people, you can maybe do 110.
Yeah. It's like when airplanes oversell seats because they know a certain amount of people are probably either going to A, cancel, or B, not show up. There are times where that definitely backfires, of course.
And it pisses people rightfully off. Like, I would be pissed off too. However, if I buy a movie ticket and I show up 30 minutes after the movie starts and they won't let me in, that is technically on me.
Yeah. This is kind of slightly off tangent, but along the same lines of my partner and I went to go see Hamilton on Broadway. Great show, groundbreaking show, great time. The amount of people who came into the show late, honestly, just disrespectful. Like, there were so many people just, like, running past us, like, trying to get to their seat. And it's instances like that where it's just like, no, like, you should have to make them wait at least until the song is over. Because it's so distracting.
Totally baffles me. So when I was 15, I went on a school trip to New York. And we had the most interesting tour guide I've ever met in my entire life. Her name was Becky from Alabama. Mm-hmm. And she was going to show us a real good time here now in New York. So we were to see Mary Poppins, which I love Mary Poppins.
Of course.
She told us we had to be back for the show at 4. So we had to be back for 4. No, the show started at 4.
Becky.
So me and my friends, because we were all supposed to basically kill an hour. We went and rode the Ferris wheel in the Toys R Us that used to be there, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Toys R Us.
And we came back and we're like, you know what? We're all supposed to be back by 4. It's 3. It's like, I can't remember. We came back earlier than everybody else. So we get back and she goes, yo, go. It's late. I gave y'all the wrong time. So we're like, are you fucking kidding me? I was livid because like we got to see 3 Broadway shows and Mary Poppins was the one I was most excited for. Although I did really enjoy Sister Act the musical. Good show. It's a very good show. So I was so livid at Becky. Like,
God damn it, Becky.
God damn it, Becky. I'll never forget this. So we are like running into the show and they will not let us in until the very first number ends. Because that's theater etiquette.
Yeah.
Yeah, they let us in when everyone is clapping and then they're doing the scene change because we're not disturbing anybody.
Exactly. Like, I understand with Hamilton, like, it's a little difficult because, like, all the songs kind of mesh into one. But there is a definite beginning and a definite end to all those songs. You know?
And you wait because with Broadway shows, everybody goes, yay, good song, clap, 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 clap. So that gives you like a good 10 seconds to be like, go. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Or, well, it's like, it's always the, sorry. Let me
for those of you who listen to the podcast, Kelsey's doing a reenactment of, being rude in a theater.
I don't know. I think I did really well. Like, I think that's one of my best impressions of this podcast episode so far.
I think so. So.
Pretty spot on. This is why if you're not watching the podcast visually, you are missing out.
You are. And if you want to watch us, you can either catch us live on Twitch or you can watch the VOD on YouTube. You know, whatever tickles your fancy.
Exactly. But back to the festival. I love it. I love our podcast. We have it. This is how every episode of the podcast goes. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Well, this happened to Kelsey this week. And then segue in.
If anything, it was what happened to Amy this week.
True. And then it segue into the topic. Then it goes, then we start talking about the topic. Then we go on 5 or 6 tangents.
As you know, one does.
And then we pull it back to the topic, and then we wrap up the show.
As one does. And
I think it's a flawless plan here.
I think so.
But we're not rehearsed. This isn't a musical. This isn't Hamilton.
I don't think any of this could ever be rehearsed. We are, as y'all know, I'm not that good.
Amy is not good at improv. Did anybody subscribe so Amy can pay for improv classes?
Nobody needs to do that. I am not taking improv classes. No.
Yeah. How much are improv classes?
No, Kelsey, don't. Do you have the money to pay for me for improv classes? Please spend that money on something more useful.
No, I'm shilling for subscribers for you.
Appreciate it, but I don't need them in that form.
Yeah. What do I need to take a class in? Basic math might be helpful.
How not to be such a Leo.
No.
Because you would just fail it.
Or as Dawson says, a Leo. Anyways, to wrap up this episode, because Amy's got COVID, so I don't want to completely ruin your voice.
I'm actually not doing too bad.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't talk a lot today, so that probably helped too, but appreciate it.
So knowing what you know, would you go to Coachella?
If I could afford it, and if I could go with friends, yes. Because, yes, we talked about Revolve, but that's a completely separate thing. I would still go to Coachella, but I'm going to ask you a different question, Kelsey. On a scale of what's the con with the ball pit?
A DashCon. Yeah,
Great.
I was on Tumblr during DashCon time.
Yes, of course. Shout out to DashCon, the true OG of TanaCon and Fire Festival.
And nobody does it like DashCon.
Nobody does it like DashCon. I'm going to ask you a different question.
Okay.
And that question is, on a scale of DashCon, TanaCon, and Fire Festival, where would you rate Revolve Festival?
It doesn't even sink as low as those three. Like, I would say the worst is, I think Fire Festival is the worst because you actually got on a plane to a remote island to go see Blink-182. Like, that's on you. You trusted Ja Rule. That is 100% on you. Like,
yeah.
No sane person read that and thought that would be a good idea. It's just like that goth music concert that they kept advertising. The people are like, this is going to be a scam. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it's happened yet.
Oh, yeah. The one where it's like My Chemical. It's literally, oh, what's that festival that used to happen all the time that was really, really big on Tumblr?
Oh, Warped Tour.
Warped Tour, yeah. It was like Warped Tour. That's what it was.
Yeah. So I would say Fire Festival will always be, like, nobody had to suck some dick for water.
This is true.
Nobody had to suck some dick at Revolve Festival for some water.
This is true.
Yeah. Then I would say DashCon, then TanaCon.
Yeah.
And then I would say Revolve. Like, Revolve is better than the three of them because if you read your contract, showed up on time, and were prepared, you'd be okay. Yeah. But, like, no one was prepared for, all right, you can have 20 minutes in the ball pit.
and the sad hamburger that they got at Fire Festival.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I think, oh my god.
I think a lot of the people, and I'm sorry, baby influencers out there. I feel a lot of the people who got burned at Revolve Festival were the baby influencers. Oh, yeah. For sure. They're the ones who think they can show up late, can show up in these, like, outfits and just, like, say who they are and get away with it. Like, there's so many influencers now. Just how there's so many YouTubers out there that have, like, over 2 million subscribers that, like, that'll never cross my feed because they're just not, pandering to me. That's fine.
Here's the thing with the whole influencer culture. So people thinking that they can advertise, like, oh, like, you know, if you work at a restaurant, it's the age old, like, oh, you're a server at a restaurant. Is like the whole, like, oh, I want this meal for free, I'll post it on my Instagram. It's like, no, absolutely not. Like, our roommate has a bit of a, he had a once, like, a bit of a following. Like, he still does, but he's not as, like, active as he used to be.
Yeah.
And this is not Trevor. This is our other roommate. And there is a bar that I pass on the way, like, on the bus home, that is the same name as his Twitter handle. And Trevor's like, oh, we should go there for your birthday, and then you should show them your Twitter following and see if you'll get your, like, meal for free. And I was like, we are not gonna do that.
Honestly, why not? Try it out.
Okay, let's see how many. Twitter. I'm gonna find out how many followers he has. Look,
Isn't it like 30K or something?
Okay, so he has 32.1K followers. We're roasting our roommate. It's fine. But his last tweet, he only got 21 likes. So that is terrible.
That's terrible engagement.
That is absolutely terrible engagement rate. Yep. So yes, he may have this followers. Like, we love you. I know he's not watching because I don't think he is.
I don't think he watches some of this, but, like, we care about you, dude. We do.
Yeah, we love you with all of our heart. There's no one else we'd rather drag.
Oh, I was like, drag where? Oh, drag live on the podcast. Yes.
Yeah, live on the podcast. But good old Bachelor number 3. But that is terrible engagement. So if you were to be like, yeah, this is how many followers I have. But if he posts, let's say, I don't know, it's probably some pub food, like a hamburger. Like, that's not going to do anything for that restaurant.
No, especially if, like, his followers aren't local or anything like that.
I don't know, like, maybe he's big in Peru. Like, that's not going to help them out at all.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. So I think with the whole, like, baby influencers, they see those vanity metrics and they think, oh my God, like, I should be given the world. Like, they'll call, like, I know people who've worked at hotels and influencers will call trying to get a free room and stuff. Like, I worked at a bar downtown, and Lana Condor came in to all the boys I loved before.
Yes.
She came in with the girl who plays her best friend, and then some random guy, which maybe was her boyfriend, I'm not sure, or her fiance now. But, like, they were the last people in the restaurant. We were like, they were buying drinks, the bartender was serving them, and they did not ask for a single thing for free. I knew who she was, and I was like, oh my God, she's so pretty. And the bartender, Ed, was this guy from Australia. He's like, she know they're in a Netflix show. God, that dog. No, I'm not gonna do the Australia accent.
That was a great try.
He's like, you know they're in a Netflix show. And I was like, yes, Ed, I do know they're in a Netflix show. And then he's like, oh, which one? And I was like, to all the boys, he's like, oh, my girlfriend made me watch that. It's a good show. They paid their bill. And I was like, well, I hope they paid their bill. But, like, he didn't know. They said Netflix, and he could have thought they were in Stranger Things. Like, he did not care. He was like, they paid their bill, and they left when we closed down the bar. Like, we stayed open a little bit longer because we, like, didn't want to tell them to get right out.
Yeah, which, you know, that's fair.
Yeah. But I wanted to go home, and Ed was like, all right, guys, we're closing up. Time to go. Pay your bill.
Yeah. It's just, it's a whole culture thing of these people thinking that they're so cool because they have some sort of internet clout, when literally at the end of the day, people legitimately don't care. Like,
they don't care.
Your followers, for sure, they care. But random people on the street, they don't know who you are. They do not care. Yes, I feel bad for you in some sense, but also, like, I feel bad for you in, like, the human sense of, like, oh, I kind of feel bad for you, but any sort of, I'm like, this is also just privilege you have that you're able to do these things, whereas I had to sit here and watch all the Harry Styles updates the next day, and as soon as I saw him perform with Shania Twain, I was like, Shania Twain! And I spent the whole morning looking up clips, and
one thing influencers forget is, like, they are part, it's like, as Trevor says, I'm a niche micro internet celebrity. Like, in your niche group, you may seem very popular, but, like, any person in a niche group. Like your dad, if you just say Amy to your dad, do you like Bella Poarch? He'd go, who? But if you were to say the top like model airplane champion, he'd be like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Amy, it's Todd Airplanes. I don't know.
No, my dad's one of the top model airplane things, so he's his own celebrity.
Yeah. Like, oh my god. In some circles, it's, oh my god, it's Amy's dad.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, my family is famous for inventing a fishing rod. So, like, my family's huge in the hobby fishing community.
Kelsey, maybe your family needs to check their privilege.
I know, right? I mean, I went to Revolve Festival, and I was like, do you know who I am? I am Kelsey Peets of the Peets Sporting Goods.
This sounds like in Mean Girls. Shout out, is it the 18th anniversary of Mean Girls?
Oh yeah.
I don't think my father, the inventor of toaster strudel, would be happy to hear about this.
Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, manage your expectations and check your privilege.
Ain't that most things in life, though?
Oh, 100%.
Good life lessons. Good life lessons to end on here.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us on this Friday. We promised in 2 weeks from now, it'll be on Thursday.
It will be on Thursday. God, I hope so. If something else comes, let me check my calendar real quick. Yeah. Today is the 22nd.
What's on Thursday 2 weeks from now?
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, it's the day my grandfather died.
Great. So we will be celebrating. Well, no. I was about to say something very culturally insensitive, and then I'm not gonna say it because I know it's not correct. Okay, no. Well, we will have a taco for your grandfather.
Pour one out for Bernie.
All right. Ooh. I don't know if my face is hot from laughing or if it's my fever.
It's the COVID.
I don't know.
Oh, it's okay. You know what? This has been a fun episode. I've had a fun time. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening, viewing, following, subscribing, tipping Amy $238 a session for improv class.
Is that how much they are?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly, that wouldn't shock me.
No, that wouldn't shock me at all. Acting classes are incredibly expensive.
They're super expensive.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's the part where I do the outro, right?
It is. Are you going to get it this time?
Nope, probably not.
Yeah.
But we will try our best. Okay. But
right.
Oh.
Oh. Are you okay?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you guys so much for listening again this week. We really appreciate it. And again, I'm just going to remind at the end of every single episode, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but that's fine. We are live on Twitch the first and third Thursdays of every month. And then we are live on every other platform for your listening and viewing pleasure the second and fourth Thursday of every month. We'll have a better, consistent schedule as soon as we can. But we appreciate your understanding and just following us and listening to us when we have to move things around. You can listen to us on a whole bunch of podcasting platforms, on Apple Music, on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Anchor. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find us. You can also find this VOD uploaded to YouTube the following Thursday. So make sure you're subscribed over there. And if you go watch that video, please give it a like. You can follow Kelsey at Kelsey Peets on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. But on Twitch, you're Babushka Peets. Remember that. Thank you. And you can follow me at Shelly Amy on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch as well. You can also find all our social medias for the podcast at Can You Take My Shift for Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And on Twitter, we're at CYTMS Podcast. So make sure you're following us all there. That's where we post all our updates every time so you know when we're going live, if our schedules change, or any new updates or specials we have coming out. Honestly, I think it is pretty good.
actually really good.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I don't know if it's the alcohol or COVID or maybe both. But you know what? We will take the wins where we can.
Exactly.
All right. So on that note, Kelsey, can you take my shift?
I'm sorry, it's my turn for the ball pen. I get a cool 15 minutes.
No, I haven't got to go in the ball pit yet. This is your third time.
It's because I'm a VIPP.
Oh, really? You gonna go pee in the ball pit then?
Oh, God, you need to go to bed.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.